There we go.
Okay, I have here a father of two adorable girls and another baby on the way. Bret Fouche is an amazing leader, father, husband, and agent, and a great friend for me that we met a few years ago. I am so happy to introduce Bret Fouche today to my show, Rima Talk Live, this beautiful Friday. Bret, thank you so much for joining
Good
me.
morning. Thank you. Thanks for having
Go
me.
ahead.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so excited. So tell me a little bit about yourself, where you
Yeah,
serve.
sure. So I'm actually my physical office is located in Pleasanton, California, which is about 30 to 40 minutes east of San Francisco. So we're in the Northern California area. I've been in real estate. God, what year is it? 2021. So 13 years, going on 14, something like that. So it feels like forever. But yeah, lots of learning experiences over those times. So and I run a team, a small team here in the area. Really consists of a part-time buyer agent. I have my wife, beautiful wife, is joining my team as my admin, which I'm excited about. My mom's actually on my team as well. She's my interior designer because I do run a staging business on the side as well. So yeah, primarily listing specialist, but we pretty much do it all: KW commercial, luxury, you name it.
That's awesome. And we've met, I believe, how many years ago? We've met
I think it
in
was
the
like 4 in Anaheim, right? Wasn't it Anaheim?
yeah, we went like family reunion, the KW
Back when I had
convention.
long hair, when I had really long.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So it's been, and you kind of changed companies and or took a break from the real estate career. Do I?
So let me think. God, it's probably been 4 or 5 years. So I was with Keller Williams for about 6, 7 years, and then I actually went into new build community. So I was selling new homes for about a year, and then I jumped into a local luxury firm called Alon Pinal, which is now Compass. I was there for a couple years, and then I realized my vision was different than that company. So then I came back to KW.
Got it, got it. And you've been in the Bay Area for how long?
I'm born and raised here, so all
Okay.
my life. But I actually lived in Arizona, early 2000s. Went to Arizona State. Right after that, got into real estate, and then shortly after I moved back. So it's probably been 10, 11 years that we've physically been back in California doing real estate.
Perfect. And like as I mentioned earlier, you have two beautiful daughters,
Yes,
amazing, adorable, and a gorgeous
yes.
wife, and you have one on the way. How old are your girls now?
So Arabella, my oldest, she'll be 4 on the 28th of this month. So
Oh,
we actually have a surprise Disneyland trip, San Diego trip coming up the end of the month. And then Genevieve, she'll be 2 November 1st. And then the third baby will be here somewhere mid-September, which I'm super
oh,
excited. It's a surprise, so we don't know. But I'm couldn't be more happy right now.
that's so awesome. So, with that being said, you are a super busy dad because you have little babies.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
how do you do it? I know Madeline, your wife, helps a lot, but how? I mean, you're super productive, and you do not have a big team. So,
Right.
how someone like you does it and does it on a high level?
I bring the kids with me a lot. So when they're younger,
Is that your selling point?
yes, it works to my benefit. So with Arabella, I had no choice. My wife was a teacher, and so I would bring her on showings, bring her on listing appointments. Half the time, the clients, oh, can I hold your baby? And I'm like, of course. If this gets you to sign the deal, sure thing. So I don't want to say I exploited them, but a dad with a kid, it's a gold mine. So half the time, being organized is always a difficult thing because I'm writing an email and then a diaper needs to be changed. I go back to the email and I don't know what I wrote. So a lot of just trying to stay on task. The other thing is, I used to work around their sleep schedules, so that helps. Whether it's late at night, early in the morning. But to be honest, it's one of those things that you instinctually know how to be a parent, I guess. And then the business, it's always going to be there. So I've worked more on doing more family time versus being a workaholic. So I actually cut back my hours, spent more time at home, and I felt like that actually helped me become more productive.
Yeah, and the reason I mentioned that, with you having such a young kids, babies, and one on the way, it's just like, and you're so involved. I follow you on social media. You're so involved with your girls, and you're so involved with your wife, with your family in general. And sometimes, like, I talk to people, and they put that as an obstacle instead of
Right.
help that, having babies, having kids. Like, if you want to do something, if you want to be productive, and if you set your mind, this is my business, you'll make it happen no matter what, no matter what stands
Yes.
on its
Yeah.
way. And you kind of like found that niche to bring your
Yes.
girls and, have fun with it too. And that's
Oh,
what we do with real estate.
big time. I mean, I'll put it like this: the week before you have to go on a vacation, how productive are you? Most people are all of a sudden get everything done within a 3 or 4 day span. I kind of do the same thing. I mean, I'll only work 4 or 5 hours a day. So I'll work 8 in the morning, and then I usually go home around 2, go with the girls, jump on the trampoline. It's almost like a mental mind reset. So I go home and I just unplug, chase them around, have fun, play. And then later in the afternoon or later in the evening, go back to emails, add listings in the MLS, or, do the things that, unfortunately we have to do, paperwork kind of stuff. So, it's surprising how you can find those pockets of time throughout the day and you're super productive for that 1 or 2 hours. And then your rest of your day, you can go out and, go play tag or have a water fight or whatever, So that's the best thing about it, is having that balance. Otherwise, what's the point of working?
Right. And being focused on, like you mentioned, on your daily task, and just following, like, taking every minute by minute. So that's amazing.
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about real estate and how you're are you working more with buyers now, sellers? What do you see happening in your area?
Right. Currently, I'm fortunate enough that it's more listings. So right now I'm juggling 6 listings, a couple more probably in the next month. The challenge for me this year it's been very difficult for buyers to get under contract. I mean, I have some buyers, I'm 3 to 6 months it's taken me, because it's so competitive. I write offers right off. I mean, I have a client I've probably written 20 offers for, and it's stressful, but we stay the course, and eventually I'll get them in contract. But my listings, it's easier to manage. So you do the process, you get the photos, the staging, the video done, you add it in MLS, you do your open houses. So it's a pretty easy process. And usually it's, done in 2 to 3 weeks. And then you're on to the next listing. So I'm very fortunate that, I've built this pipeline, past buyers or past buyers turning to sellers, and then my other sellers that are moving out of state. So that's been our primary source, is just people relocating out of state because the cost of living is so high here.
And speaking of, that was actually my next question. You see a lot of people going out of state from your area?
Right now, it's probably 70%, if not more.
Wow. Is that why do you see people leaving and others coming, or you don't see people coming, or like, what's the situation there?
It's rare. It's a very difficult jump. I mean, when I left Arizona to come back, it was a huge jump in the cost of living. So the only time I've had 2 clients this year come back from different states, one from Utah, one from Nevada, and both ended up working at Tesla. So if you get this high-end job, now you can, potentially afford to live here. Most people are cashing out. Oh, they bought this house 20 years ago for $200,000. Now it's worth $1.5 million. They cash out. They pay cash for their house in Texas or Florida or Nevada, and they put the rest in the bank. So it seems to be the trend.
So where do you see people moving to? Like, what other states? Like, where do you see the most?
So most Californians kind of want to stay on the coast. So I see a lot of Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Arizona, and Texas. Those are probably the top 4. If it's my older clientele, Florida, it's either Florida or Arizona for the most part. Partially for the income tax benefits. Other reason is the weather.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're seeing the same in our area in LA, like a lot of Texas people.
Yep, Texas.
Vegas, Arizona.
It definitely helps with Texas referral partners.
Oh yeah. Texas is huge. So And where is your business coming now? I know you're huge on referrals and past clients, but is that mainly your business? And
right, yeah. So over the years, it definitely has shifted into more referral based. So it was agent to agent referral, and then past client referral of other client. Now we've gone more social media, sphere of influence, and a little bit of the whole paid lead thing, which I'm not going to name any companies, but we do use them. It does work, unfortunately, so it always keeps you coming back.
Yeah, and it helps, especially if you have buyer's agents to
Right.
get your buyer's agents leads and stuff. So, what kind of process like you have to keep up with your clients, keep up with your database, so you can maintain that relationship and get those referrals and those past clients come back to use you?
So most of it's just in my head, unfortunately, which is not a good way to run your business. We do use the KW command system, right? It's a great platform to help keep you organized so that months go by and you're like, oh, what was the last time I talked to these people? Okay, let me look through my past list. But we're currently in the process now that my beautiful wife, Madeline, is joining as my admin. She's going to help me take over that whole part of the business where keeping up with past clients, keeping up with, my referral partner relationships. That way I can kind of take over some of the headspace I overwhelm and get it a little more organized. Because right now I wake up in the morning and I just think, oh, who do I need to talk to today? So I just think about people I'm currently working with, people that I maybe talked to 5-6 months ago. And so I just make sure I reach out to, friends and sphere, just to keep relation. I mean, it's a relationship business. So for me, it's
right.
like, hey, who wants to come have lunch with me this week? And then I reach out and, next thing you know, I'm having a coffee or having lunch with a past friend that, told me he was going to maybe sell his house last year, but still hasn't. So that's kind of my process. And what we're working on is taking all that stuff I do every day and then putting it back into the database. Because that's the piece I've been missing is I do all this activity and then I've kind of tapered off. What I used to do was be organized with what I do after that.
Awesome. And what would you say the most great things that's really, really working for you right now and your business?
I feel like just go. So again, we're primary listing. So the high quality that I offer my client on my listing process kind of speaks for itself. So I've been really good at selling a house in a neighborhood. That client will tell their neighbor friends, right? So I tap into their sphere. So I say, hey, if you know anyone else in the neighborhood that was thinking about selling, we did such a great job. We had such a great time helping you. Who else do you know? So I start with that, like during the closing process. And then maybe a month or two from now, I check in. Hey, how did your move go to Austin, Texas? How are you liking it out there? Is there anyone else in your neighborhood that maybe, is thinking about moving to Texas too? So just those little small conversations, number one, it keeps your relationship going with that client. And number two, it definitely turns into repeat business.
Perfect. And somebody asked relocation, are you licensed in those cities? I'm not sure what they meant by that.
No, you do not have to be licensed in the states that you work on relocation. So I do have a team in Scottsdale, an expansion team. It's been a very difficult undertaking, but within Keller Williams, you don't have to be licensed in these different states. You just have, expansion partners that handle the business while you kind of generate it. Now, I want to get my license reactive in Arizona because the difficulty was not being able to do contracts, not being able to access the MLS. So yes, you pay more for it, but at least you can kind of jump in and negotiate contracts, write contracts, go into the MLS and do more to service the client. So I wouldn't recommend getting licensed in like 5 or 6 states, but maybe one, because it's easier to maintain one. But my situation is different because I was in Arizona, right? So a little bit easier for me to kind of make that jump.
Right. And it's the same thing, like it just having another license, for me personally, another state is like, okay, how many deals am I going to do in that state? Exactly. I would rather focus like on the one thing, what I am, what I know
Yep.
in my own area, than jumping all over the place and lose what
Right.
I have here, or my mind would be all over the place. That's my
Right.
personal opinion.
And it's
So
true. It is true. The only reason I was considering it was I had a bad experience on a transaction where, they wouldn't allow me to do anything and the whole thing kind of fell apart. So, but again, I probably would have 20 to 30 deals in Arizona. So it makes sense. If it was 3 or 4, then yeah, there's no
right.
point having your license there.
Oh yeah, if you're having that many, it's good to have a team out there too, which you
Correct.
do, which still
Correct.
active. Your team's still active in Arizona?
I still have the expansion, but I have no agents. So
Okay.
it's been, I've had some agents, they did great, and then they went on their own. Then I had some other agents, not so great, fizzled out. So right now we're in that fizzled out status. So I'm still trying to rebuild. It is a goal, but like you said, right now I'm focused on the Bay Area, California. It's on the back burner.
Perfect. And on the buyer side, are you dealing with any buyers, like few buyers, or are you referring your buyers out?
So when I get a referral, right, I don't hand those off typically. So I probably have half a dozen buyers that are all kind of just hovering around. Every weekend on Friday, I check in. Hey, did you see anything that I sent you over the week that you want to take a look at? So the process is tough because the inventory is so low that half the time nothing popped up that they like. So for me, I'm more reactive. Hey, Brett, we found something. Can we look at it on Saturday? And then I jump into attack mode. I pull it up, see what appointments are available, and then I set it up and we go from there.
Where do you see the market in your area as far as listings? Like here, we're seeing like more inventory coming to market slowly, but they are selling quicker than they hit the market. So kind of like we're not feeling it, but there's small increase percentage in the inventory. Do you see the same thing in the Bay Area?
So like April, May, normally our peak is like June, July. But this year it felt like April and May was like the most listings we had, the most pendings, the most solds. We've seen a slight slowdown, which I was a little caught off guard by because I expected the summer to just be like it always has. And so I don't know if we've seen prices dip so much, but we've definitely seen, normally maybe we have a 15 to 20% increase in inventory. It's been more like 10. So it's been a strange thing. I don't know if it was just a shock because in April, May, there was 20 offers, 15 to 20 offers.
Right.
And it was like 300,000 over list price. And I was just like, okay, this is crazy. And now it's more like 3 to 5 offers. So that was the thing that really affected our inventory and our buyers markets. Things are still selling, but certain things are sitting 2 to 3 weeks versus 1 to 2 days.
Yeah, and we sellers and us agents, we got kind of spoiled of like taking listings sometimes above what its value, and we sell it anyways. But now you just have to really educate the seller. It's like the market is changing slowly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going down, but it's just changing, and we have to address every situation differently, especially if the house needs work, especially the area. There's a lot of circumstances that we're still kind of like we have to shift to a point that's the market is slightly, like you mentioned, changing, and we have to change with it like we always do. But it's a big adjustment for having 30, 40 offers the first 2 hours, then sitting on the market for 2-3 days and there's no offers. Like I listed the property and one weekend I had no offers, and my son was like, why don't we have an offer? It's like, it's only been a weekend.
Right. Well, see, for someone like you and I, right, more than 10 years in the business, I remember those times where, a property sat for 60 days. We did a price reduction, a traditional sale. But the last decade, you put it on the market, it doesn't matter the price, it sells and you look great. So the agents that aren't used to that, I think they might struggle a little more. But I just remember the time when, it was a buyer market technically, even though I feel like it never was in the California area. But, I have to have those conversations with my client. Hey, it's been 30 days on the market. I think a slight price reduction is going to help, refresh our listing. It'll hit all the search sites. It'll hit all their email alerts, and might give us a chance to, have another wave of potential buyers come to the property.
Right, definitely. In your opinion, where do you see we're heading to next year? What do you?
I mean, all of it to me hinges on the economy, and the coronavirus for that matter, because if things kind of reopen and we kind of get this thing under control, I feel like we will be stimulated as an economy. The stock market, obviously, I'm heavily in that, and I monitor it, and I see it going up, but going down, and then going up. So it's at this kind of a plateau, but I feel like we will recover. We will still go up, maybe not a 10% increase over year like we have, 2018, 19, 20, but more of a stable, 3 to 5%. I still feel like, I mean, there's demand. It's California. There's still people coming here in droves, even though people are leaving. Even if everyone left, it would create a vacuum, and all of a sudden, opportunity would be here, and you would see a small spike in prices as a result.
100%. Yes. Yeah. And the interest rate too, we don't know what's going to happen. The interest rate, the news is like might go slightly higher. That might affect things. But like you mentioned, it all depends what the coronavirus and now the new strain that's coming, and probably will have more restrictions now. We just opened, and it's just so much uncertainty is what's going to happen in the next few months or towards the first beginning of the year. So it would be like we've been living the last 18 months, it would be something new to see or something different. Hopefully it will work out for the best for everyone. And that's the main thing. What's your future look for Bret and family and business?
Wow. Well, we'll see what happens with the third baby, right? That's the biggest mystery. I mean, I love my family. We are such a tight-knit group, and a third is going to be very welcomed because my other two daughters will have another sibling to play with. And then with my wife joining the team, I'm very excited about it because now we get to spend all of our time together. Before, one of us would have to go to work and you're gone for 8 hours, and I always miss Madalena when she leaves. So now that we get to work together, we could travel and work while we're on vacation. We can, be on the beach, like in San Diego. I'm sure I'll be working, but we'll all be together and do these great things as a family. So number one, it's going to be more time together as a family. As far as business, I joined KW Commercial about 2 years ago. That's slowly taking off, which is exciting because I want to kind of bring that element into our team, into our business. The luxury division, I'm on the ALC for that. So it's been exciting to help grow our division with luxury. And I've definitely seen an impact in my higher price point listings and buyers. So for us, it's more about getting organized, growing the team slowly and in a systematic way, because eventually I will need a buyer agent or two. And then more admin support. So once Madalena's up and running, a secondary admin to help support her. That way, half of the business is off my plate, and I can focus on relationships and my clients. So I just see us growing. I never really wanted to be like a top team or top all that. But now that I'm, almost there, it's like, why not? Why not us? We might as well just,
let's raise it a notch. Let's raise it a notch.
Exactly.
Again, you have a beautiful, gorgeous family. I enjoy knowing you guys, being your friend, and I know we don't see each other much, but every time I see Madeline, she's more beautiful than I saw her the last time. So she's amazing, and you have your girls. Like, I love watching you and following you.
They are so funny. Their personalities, and the more time you spend with them, it's just like, it's hard to believe they're only 4 and 2.
Yeah, with their own personality, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And anything you like to add? What service do you area? So if anybody's watching, there.
So for me, I mean, I cover the San Francisco Bay Area. So like right now, I'm probably one of the few agents that does it pretty on a competent level. So I have a $2.4 million listing in Belmont. Then I have several in the San Lorenzo area, Brentwood, which is kind of the northern point of the East Bay Area. So I cover, all the way from San Jose to San Francisco, east to about Tracy, which is pretty far east. So it's about a 30-mile radius roughly. But if it's in the Bay Area, if someone says, hey, I got a client in the Bay Area, 99% of the time I probably cover that area.
Awesome. Awesome. And the best way to reach you?
Just call me directly. 925-998-8544 is my direct number.
Awesome. Well, Bret, thank you so much for taking time this morning to join me on my show. It's been amazing. It's always great seeing you, and hope to see you in person and your family soon. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks so much, Rima. Have a great day.
You too.